Hi guys, it is the Dating Doctors. I'm sorry I'm just a little bit late. I'm just coming back from teaching a class. I was at Abraham Legacy Realty and I was teaching video marketing today.
Oh, perfect.
So kind of ties in really good. I did tell everybody about my show and that I had some really good things to share that have happened. Well, I don't think some are good, some are crazy. We've got crazy stories. Crazy story day. Yeah, I've had a busy dating week. Hey Nick, thanks for joining us on the Dating Doctors. So here we are today with Tatiana. Tatiana, so say hi.
Hi, I'm back. It's been a couple of weeks, I think.
Our resident is back.
But we've been pretty busy in our work life.
We
which
work
is always
actually.
good.
Yeah.
So
what do you do? Tell them what you do.
I think I'm the funnel.
She's the glue that holds the whole entire structure together for Advantage 80/20. She does it all.
Never repeating day, or like never boring ever.
This is definitely not a boring place, I'd say.
And an interesting thing too is that we're actually in our office building.
Yeah.
Which is really neat. Normally we're in other locations, so now you guys are the show has come to me, so I'm able to be a part of it. But we're also are surrounded by all this really neat art.
Yeah, we have some artwork here. This is, I think, a guy from Game of Thrones, right? This is.
What this is us teaching me is that I need to watch more
Sarah Jonah Marmont's
movies.
Game of Thrones, which is a TV show. And I'm just going to scoot the camera this way. We see the Joker on the walls and Superman, which is pretty cool. So we have this great artwork on the walls of our office. And this artwork does change as well. So this is really cool. And we wanted to have something interesting for you to look at, because I'm pretty boring. You're not.
No. I just think it's cool that our office has cool stuff like this.
We do. We have really cool environment to work in. Real creative. As you know, Advantage 80/20 is a company that does marketing, and we do database for real estate agents.
And beyond.
And beyond.
Now.
Absolutely. We have clients here in the United States as well as the UK. So we're doing database marketing, creative services for real estate agents. But we're
Dating Doctors.
Dating Doctors. Okay, cool. So, as you know, the Dating Doctors revolves around my crazy stories. Yvonne is dating, and online is where I decided to land. Yes, and every week I say the same thing. It's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing. Hi, Nadia. Doing the same thing and expecting different results. But in this case, I do the same thing week after week and have great stories for you. Yeah. So you're going to have
We get to live through you.
You get to live vicariously through Yvonne and her craziness. So, okay, I had some experiences. So Tatiana doesn't know any of these stories because we really haven't spoken.
Cool.
I've been out of the office a lot. So this week, on the last couple, maybe 5-6 days, to catch you up, I have been doing my online dating thing. So this is a crazy story. Listen to this. So I had, and I never ever usually do this. I mean, I really never do this. I reached out and sent a message to a guy who came up as a match on these dating sites. And he was a 98% match.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, safe bet. I haven't heard from him. And, let me make the first move. Great profile. This was in January of 2018. So this was 10 months ago. I wrote to this guy. Totally forgot because I never heard from him until yesterday. Hi, Claire. How are you doing?
Hi, Claire.
Telling some crazy stories over here. So
I look forward to our date. I believe it's tomorrow.
Yeah, Claire.
We have a phone call scheduled.
Very cool. We get to see Claire, talk to her about her database and getting her marketing going. So this person that I was a 98% match with, I reached out to him, made the first move, which I never do, and that was in January. I've got a message from him yesterday. Yeah, 98% match. So I thought it was a safe bet, okay? That if I reach out and say, hey, I think your profile is great. I see that we're a 98% match. I generally do not reach out. I told him all this. Well, 10 months later, I receive a message yesterday. Hey, thank you for the message. Thank you for enjoying my profile. As a matter of fact, I screenshotted it, but what I didn't do is put it to a place where I could read it to you. But essentially it said, I like a woman who's more athletic because the determination in the work that goes into being athletic tells me a lot about a woman's character.
Wow.
So my character was lacking because I am not an athletic or thin girl.
That's intense.
That's some super intense stuff. And at first I didn't even know how. First of all,
it's one thing, like, I like to play devil's advocate a lot. I don't know. Especially if the person's not there to advocate for themselves. That's always kind of my thing, is what would I want for me? And when he first started talking, I was like, well, if he is a ultra marathon runner where they run 200 miles over a course of 2 days and they train for years and years, then perhaps. Because what that signifies is a connection in regards to goals, in regards to discipline, maybe in certain areas. But what he said in the follow-up was completely inappropriate.
Yes, and that's how I felt. I felt, first of all, number one, it was 10 months ago. So he did not need to respond to it at all, and he obviously hadn't. What made him respond 10 months later, I have no idea. And then, everybody has preferences, and I am so cool with that. Like, some people like tall. Some people, I like that, Nadia. I think he was projecting, yeah. So some people like tall, some people like short, some like blonde, some like blue. I'm totally cool. If he had said, I like an athletic girl, and left it at that, that's cool, man. Like, I don't take any offense to that whatsoever. But to say that my character is lacking because I don't have the discipline to be a fit girl.
Yeah.
Wow. That is ridiculously arrogant, ignorant, and a whole bunch of other adjectives, right?
Yeah.
I was mad. So originally I wrote back, since he felt the need to write to me 10 months later. I took it upon myself to write back to him, and I said, have a nice life.
Wow.
But then I said, I'm going to write a little more. So I did, and I said to him, I go, thank God that God doesn't judge us based on our body type, and that only human beings could be so shallow.
I think that was a pretty good
response. And I also wrote, to judge a person's character based on their body type is extremely distressing, because there could be a very thin and fit woman whose character is absolutely disgusting. So that really upset me when it comes to being judged by my body size to give me whether my character is a good character or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like us saying a guy with a six-pack and that nice little V line that really fit guys get. I don't know.
Oh,
like,
really fit guys have
they're
better
all
dedication.
or something.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
No, that
So
doesn't make them a better character.
It was a bit much what he said.
Yeah, so that was nice, right? Thank you, Veronica.
Thank you.
I appreciate that, because this is the craziest things that I go through. So here I'm being judged based on my body type, and because my body type is not fit or athletic, my character is lacking, is what a gentleman said to me. And gentleman's using the word gentleman loosely.
Yeah, very loosely.
And so my next thing I had happen is, this is all leading up to how God touched my life yesterday.
Wow.
So here's this story. So, you know what, catfishing, we talk about catfishing all the time. So everyone out there, I'm always going to reiterate this. Thank you, Veronica. I agree. I love that. And that's what I say. You just call it like it is, because that is true. Read the comments, people, because Veronica hit the nail on the head. This is the thing. Catfishing is a thing, okay? We all know it's a television show, and we all know that Yvonne gives you tips. The tip I'm going to give you, once again, I'm going to give it to every single show, is get off the app and ask that person for their phone number.
I can't get over the prison. Catfish.
Yeah. My prison catfish story, which was last episode with the episode before. All of my episodes, by the way, have most of them are they're being still uploaded to my YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
My YouTube channel is The Dating Doctors, and you can also, the tag will be Yvonne Sandoval or Dating Doctors, and you will see all the content that I've uploaded. The recent episodes up until about June are all there live, and I'm still processing more and putting more episodes on. So going back, I had a guy reach out, through something called OkCupid, which is another dating site.
Is this like a relationship one?
I apologize. It was Match.com.
Oh, okay.
So Match.com, I paid for that, and you all know that that's got a great reputation. Is coming on the show to tell Mr. Fit a little more.
We should have her on the show. That would be
absolutely.
interesting.
I would love to have Veronica on the show, and she could tell us like her take on this crazy entire same world.
We should have guest people come on the show and reply to your messages and
Oh.
see, or like something interesting like that.
That would be awesome. I would love for her to she's in. I would love it. I would love it. So this particular person, I met him on Match.com, and with Match.com, you have to pay to be a member. So it's supposed to be like people who are for real, people who are wanting to look for a relationship. You answer 100 different questions. They match you. It's a whole thing. So this gentleman reached out to me, and he only had I think it was 3 photos, and it was okay looking, but his profile was really nicely done, and except for a few red flags.
Oh boy.
So he was a Caucasian gentleman, and in his profile it said he was Asian and spoke Swedish. So I said,
Okay.
he might be. It doesn't look it, but that's okay. So I asked him straight, are you Asian and speak Swedish? Because that I find very interesting, very intrigued.
Yeah, let's talk about
And
that.
he's like, no. He's like, I have to change that. I meant to put European, but I speak Swedish. And I'm like, okay. Well, and he goes and he changes his profile out. And we go back and forth, and I need to get him off this app because anybody can be anyone.
Yeah.
So
Especially when the red flags are one of the first things.
the Asian Swedish person, yeah, that was one of them. So we started going back and forth, and his English wasn't that great, but because he speaks Swedish and he's from Sweden, according to him, maybe that would be an explanation for the poor English writing. It wasn't horrible, but it was not great. So I gave him my phone number, and I said, I'm very busy. Texting is a pain. I have my whole routine that I go through. And I said, it would be great if we could talk on the phone.
Okay.
So he says, okay, absolutely. And he kept telling me that he works offshore drilling. I've heard this story before, by the way. So I kind of knew where I was going with this, but I wanted to see how far I could push him. Okay, so yeah, I work 2 months on an oil rig. I'm not around. I want to see you when I can, and blah blah blah. I've heard this story before. It's very similar to other catfish stories I've heard. So I challenge him and say, well, let's talk in 5 minutes because I'm getting gas right now. I'm driving to my next appointment. Call me. He goes, okay. Okay, great. So my phone rings, and what happens? You can tell, because I did go to usphonebooks.com, and I took that phone number and I searched it, and it came up. This is an important message. It comes up as, wow, we've searched billions of phone numbers and could not find a match. That tells me that is a voice over internet protocol or a burner phone.
Wow.
Yeah. Usually voice over internet protocol, which is a disguised phone number. So my phone rings. I answer the phone, and right away it sounds like it's being connected by 1932 technology.
No.
So you got the repeater noise. It's clicky.
What?
Yeah, you can tell that this is not somebody who's in Bradenton, Florida.
Yeah.
As it says on the screen of my phone.
Or at least not in civilization.
It's
perhaps,
in the Congo. It's probably in Nairobi, not Nairobi, but Cameroon or something. I couldn't tell. But the moment he opens now you have to remember, the profile I'm looking at is a tall gentleman about 6'2", Caucasian, light hair, light eyes. The person says, "Hey, sweetie, how's your day?" The voice is, I would say, a African descent or some kind of
Accent.
third world accent. English is not the first language, but it's also not Swedish. It's not the Swedish chef from Muppet Show. Okay? Yeah, it wasn't like that. So immediately I know I'm talking to somebody who's in a cafe in Nigeria.
Wow.
Okay, making phone calls, and I don't know how he thought in a million years I was going to think that this was a Swedish person speaking to me. I mean, you can profile voice. You can there is a certain voice that matches, certain parts of the world.
So what did you respond to him?
I hung up. And then I blocked him. But I have a secondary app on my phone. So my primary phone is blocked, which is Verizon. But Verizon also gives you a tool. I'm going to give you another insight. It's called Verizon Messenger. Verizon Messenger backs up all of your text messages, and it opens your text messages in a separate app. So you can block somebody, but still be able to receive messages through this app. And you can mute the conversation when you want to not have them, not be reached by them. So I blocked him on my phone. He can't call me, but he can text me if I wanted to. So I sent him a text message from the Verizon app, the Verizon Messenger app. And if you're a Verizon customer, you can download this. Just go to the App Store. And so I wrote to him and I said, "I'm so sorry, but you are not," I can't remember what his name was, but, his name was Casper.
Oh, wow.
Casper, you are not Swedish and 6'2" and blonde, blue eyes. You have been reported to Match.com, which I did.
Wow.
I did report them. So, and he came back at me and he goes, "How do you know I'm not who I say I am?" I said, "Because I'm not stupid."
Yeah.
I mean, really, I'm not stupid. I mean, I was pretty much entertaining myself with the notion that how far can I push this person to pretend to be this, another person, another human being. So that was fun. But I have to tell you, this is where my God story comes in.
Oh yeah.
So this all went down, and as I'm driving, because I told you I was driving, I was on my way to CVS. And okay, this is how this goes. If you all know, I had a bad breakup back in the beginning of August. And I was seeing somebody for about 3 months, and it was very upsetting to me when it ended. Nice person, just we were going in different paths, but we don't talk anymore. There's nothing for us to talk about, just going on 2 different life paths. But to this day, I still have, times where I miss him, or there are places I go, or things, or songs on the radio. You all know that, that spark a PTSD moment, So I had to pick up a prescription that only the CVS in Winter Springs, for some reason, which is nowhere near my house, could only fill it, okay? I have been putting off getting my prescription filled at that CVS and picking it up for about 2 months, because I didn't want to go to that CVS, because that was a CVS that me and him used to go to. I was trying to avoid it. Finally, I said, you know what? I have to pick up my prescription. I need it. So I go to the drive-thru. I was on my way to my next appointment, this Winter Springs CVS, and the drive-thru lady says, "Nope, it's not available. You never picked it up, so we put it back in stock." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, no. I need it." She goes, "We'll refill it in 15 minutes. So I said, "Okay, I wanted to just get the heck out of there, So I sat in the parking lot, answered some emails, looked at some texts, and I'm like, you know what? I might as well go inside, and maybe I need to get some contour. It's face powder and stuff, guys. But anyway, I go in. It is waves of memories coming back. I know it sounds weird, but it was a CVS that we used to go to together, and there were lots of distinct memories that I don't have to go into that actually occurred in the CVS. So I'm there. I'm waiting to pick up my prescription, and the pharmacist says it's still not ready. He goes, there'll be a couple more minutes. We'll announce your name over the loudspeaker when it's ready, over the intercom. So I'm looking around, I'm shopping, and I walk into an aisle that I had been with that person that I was dating, and out of the corner of my eye, this figure appears really, really close to me. In my space, in my personal space. And it's this elderly gentleman with a cane, nicely dressed, put together, but in his 70s or so. And he's really up on me, like I'm feeling uncomfortable. And I pull away, and he goes, it's okay. He goes, I'm sorry, I had to stop and talk to you. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, and I was like, so I backed off a little, and he says to me, no, and this is exactly what he said, word for word. He goes, no matter what anyone says, you are a beautiful woman.
Aww.
And I am an expert. I have been married for 43 years to my beautiful wife.
That is so sweet.
And I didn't know what to say. I was like,
wow.
I said, sir, because he is an elderly gentleman who demands respect, deserves respect. And I said to him, sir, you have made my day. I was overwhelmed at that moment.
So beautiful.
Got my prescription, went to my car, and cried.
Aww.
And the things that had to conspire to happen, to make that moment happen, in a moment I needed that, was God intervening in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Prescription had to not be ready. The drive-through, making the decision instead of sitting in my car and could have went back through the drive-through. I went into the store. I faced the fear that because I didn't want to go in that store, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And to have that literally within moments of walking into that store, have that happen to me. Wasn't hitting on me or anything like that. It was God speaking through that man.
And it was in the way that you needed to hear it.
In the
time
way
and the place.
I needed to hear it. Wow. That is so, even right now, telling you the story, I am overwhelmed because it changed my perspective and appreciation for everything that was going on in my life at that moment. Hey, Ted. Thanks for joining me. Good timing.
Good timing, Ted.
This is another thing. This is God's intervention. Ted is an important person in my life. And I just told the story about how God came into my life yesterday through this elderly gentleman who, in a store that I did not want to be in, because that store reminded me of my previous relationship with a gentleman I was dating for about 3 months. I didn't want to go in that store, and I entered that store facing a fear, and within moments of being in there, an elderly gentleman came up to me and told me the thing that I needed to hear.
Well, and it's interesting because now that store holds another memory. And so now whenever you pass that store, it's going to bring so many different things, but
Isn't that crazy?
It's interesting.
How we attach, I attach to songs or to a particular path I drove to his house. Every time I drive to this path, it gets me upset. Because I'm like, I remember driving this on the way to his house for, when I would spend time with him. So it was really, really overwhelming to have that happen to me. And that catfish moment had just happened.
Yeah, the timing of that.
It couldn't have been more divine intervention is how I look at it. I believe in the universe. I believe in God.
Yeah.
I believe in all these things. So I just want to tell you, I keep plugging away and I keep feeling that things are coming into my life in the order in which they're supposed to. And it made me sit back and say, I do have good things in my life. I have people who care about me. I've had like 6 or 7 dates in the last 3 weeks. So there are men who are attracted to me. There are men that are asking me out. There are there are women who don't have that going on in their lives, or men who don't have that going on in their lives. There are not these people aren't people that are clicking with me on a high level, so that I'm not, seeing them maybe one date and that's just kind of where it lays. But I'm not alone, And Bonnie says it's always in the Lord's time, not yours. Yeah. And wow, it was insane. It just feels so surreal to have something like that. Oh, thanks, Nadia. I appreciate that. And I needed to hear. I needed the message. The message came through this gentleman. So my dating this week, it's just a matter of I'm still, I talk to people. We exchange information. People, go on maybe your different paths. This is another thing. So, to a little bit of a lighter note, so I had another person last week on Bumble, which I find is not very good at all. But there was somebody that, since I've been single 2.5 years, and some of these people are the same, including myself. Some of these people are the same people from 2.5 years ago are still on these dating sites. So Bumble made a change to their format where you can put in what it is you're looking for. Casual, you're looking for a relationship, you're looking for, dating but not serious. I mean, there's all these different categories. So I, of course, chose relationship. And I only swipe right, which is very infrequently, I'm very picky, on people who also say that they're looking for a relationship. So this particular, this particular guy, I've seen him over the course of 2 years, and I've on other apps, and I've always swiped right and never matched with him. This time, his profile said he wanted a relationship. I swiped right, and it was a match. So this particular app, Bumble, the woman has to write first. So I wrote, and he wrote back, and we went back and forth. The third question out of his thumbs, was, "What are you looking for?" And I was like, okay, I'm not going to get rude. The profile literally
requires you.
Yeah.
Not only is it on there, but it requires everybody to do it. So
yeah,
that basic information, he should have at least
looked.
Yeah.
And my profile is, Bumble doesn't really give you a lot of, I think it's 150 characters is what you can write. So I had literally 2 run-on sentences as my profile. So he didn't take the time to read 2 sentences, nor the one little caption that says relationship. Yeah. And so I wrote back to him and I said, I want what you want, relationship.
Right?
So that's what it says on your profile.
Yeah.
So he wrote back, I don't know what I'm looking for. Well, then you could have chosen, that's one of the categories. Don't know what I'm looking for. But instead, he put relationship, because nobody's going to swipe on somebody who says, I don't know what I'm looking for, and I'm 47 years old.
And then this is where we get trust issues.
Well, and this is the thing. And then later on, I had read his profile, but actually he's on another dating app that I'm on. Oh, wow. And on that app, he declares that he's not 47, he's 52. Oh, yeah. So lying about your age, lying that you want a relationship, and actually you're just entertaining yourself.
There's like over 7.5 billion people in the world. I'm pretty sure that if we're all 100% authentic, there's someone out there that is either similar or complementary to you. So just be yourself.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's a woman out there that doesn't know what she wants either and wants to just
totally
figure it out while hanging out with some guy. So maybe she's out there. But if he's only putting out their relationship, he's not going to get those girls into him because they're going to think that he's going to tie them down. So yeah, he's not going to get what he's wanting either. So doing a disservice for everybody.
And here's another scenario Yvonne's got going on here. Okay, so I met another guy. I mean, like I said, I can't complain. I do have interactions with people online, and this particular person, he wasn't texting on the app. He won't get off the app, so that was the number one red flag. But super interesting. He's an artist. He's actually pretty well known. He's doing a signing at a convention over the weekend and stuff. I don't really know too much more about him, but he's working in movies. He sent me a picture of him and a very famous star. So we're talking, but I found out last night. I had a suspicion. I was
gonna say my catfish sensors are.
Well, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. So he's telling me that I haven't heard from him during the day. I only hear from him at night. Okay, so I said, look, why is it that during the day I don't hear from you? And he's like, well, I work a lot. Yeah, I work a lot too. I have a business. Okay, so what? That's not an excuse. Well, he goes. I said to him, well, look, I think you're married. I think this is all the conditions of a man who's married. And he wrote back, okay, I am married with 2 children, but me and my wife are only living as friends. And we are raising our children as a married couple, but living a separate lives. She has a boyfriend she goes away with, she travels with him.
They're totally kids.
The kids think that their mom and dad they're older kids. They're going to be going to high school soon, so they're not little ones. So on and on and on, and that is the scenario. And he says to me, well, I don't have a lot of luck on these apps. And I said, you're not supposed to. You're a married man. Okay, you're a married man, and the universe has a way of cock blocking you. Okay, so you're not supposed to be on a dating site as a married man, and unless you disclose, I am a married man, I am in an open relationship, I do not have a relationship with my wife, or we're co-parenting. That's a new term, guys. I learned a new term. It's called co-parenting as husband and wife.
Or is there just a thing where men think that if they say that, you'll be more inclined to be like, okay, him and I can do a thing on the side. In reality, their wife has no idea that they're in an open marriage.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
I mean, like that's a lot of what these open marriages are.
I know people say, well, what do you expect? You're online dating. Well, yeah, but there's 7 billion people in the world. There's got to be, how many people are on online dating? 1 billion? I don't know. Of that 1 billion, there's got to be people like me who are sincere. I'm as sincere as they come. I am literally sincere in my profile. I am sincerely looking and using these dating sites as a net. I'm casting a net, okay, a broad net, so that I can see, capture people's attention, and then weed out, weed out.
Yeah.
I only want the shrimp or something, I don't want the boots, like the Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
When he goes shrimping, and he gets like a toilet seat, and he gets, like a bathtub and 1 shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that scene is gonna go on my dating show. On my YouTube channel, I'm gonna put the scene where Forrest Gump pulls out of the water the net full of like junkyard junk and the 1 shrimp. Because that's what I'm looking for, the 1 shrimp.
You should make a meme.
I'm gonna make a meme. Oh my gosh. As a matter of fact, here's another tip for the day. Go to Canva, C-A-N-V-A, Canva. Canva is where you can do flyers. It's for free. You can do channel art, which I use for my YouTube channel, the Dating Doctors YouTube channel.
You can plug.
Yeah. It's all about plugging stuff. So Canva is a really good thing for you to be using as well. And here's another thing for you busy real estate agents and busy people and moms, dads in general. If you're not using Amazon Now, you should check into it. Amazon Now will deliver to your house within an hour. And
wow.
And it's groceries and other household items that you may need. My friend uses it, and I think it's about an hour to 2 hours for delivery. But all of the groceries, the frozen foods, meat, and they get it from local. You can also use Instacart, which is Publix. But it is available in most areas. And like if you're going to order Gatorade or water or heavy items, dog food, anything, the prices are comparable, if not even less than sometimes going to the supermarket. It is delivered to your home within 2 hours. So if you're having frozen foods delivered, you just know that you need to be home between the hours of 7
That's incredible.
7 and 8. And I think they deliver up until like 11 o'clock at night or something like that. Something crazy.
That's wonderful.
So Amazon Now, try it out. I think they give you the first delivery for free. There is a charge, but if you look at it, what is it, $10 or something like that, or whatever it is? Maybe it's even a percentage. It doesn't matter because it is cheaper than spending your time in the grocery store, the gas as well as the aggravation. So, and it keeps a list of everything that you've ordered. So you just want to click the box and reorder the things that you need as you need them. So try out Amazon Now as a way of keeping your life, free for dating. In my case,
Or all kinds of things.
or not,
Yeah.
or catfishing.
Catfishing. Sex.
That's what all of this is supposed to lead to, right? Isn't this
Yeah.
what dating's all about?
I mean, that's one of the things, yes.
It's not the only thing, but for a lot of you out there, it totally is.
It's a major one.
It's really what most men are on these
What did I
dating
tell you?
sites for.
I'm doing personal coaching.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she talks about, and I think this is true single, in a 50-year-long marriage or a 10-year-long relationship, what have you, is that once you get your sexual energy right, it flows into every other area of your life.
Did you hear that?
And so
This
that's
doctor knows
a very
what she's talking
important
about.
thing to look into. You don't want to just be harnessing your sexual energy, all about, but you want to project it towards projects or business or goals or yourself, or into that relationship. And so then from there it flows outward.
Well, I want
feel
us,
more
our next
confident.
episode, I want Tatiana to really do the majority of the talking.
No, I don't
And
want to.
talk-
I'm not comfortable.
She's not comfortable. She just said sexual, what's it called? Sexual energy?
Energy.
Okay, so sexual energy and how to put that into your business would be an actual really
Okay.
helpful thing, because we're all sexual beings. I mean, we are. That's the part of being a human being. So there's no shame in talking about that. It does tie into business and relationships. So I would love to hear more about sexual energy and channeling it into your successful business or into other projects and goals that a
I
person
think
may
it will
have.
be really interesting.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I'm excited to dive into that.
Yes, absolutely. Next week, check us out. We're going to be talking about
New topic.
new topic. No, I think that's fantastic. And who's going to object to learning about how to make their business and their life stronger by channeling the energies that every human being encompasses?
Has everybody has this.
Of course,
The
we all do.
superpower.
Superpower.
Or it's our vice. And so next week, I guess we'll learn about that.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, because I need to harness some. Harnessing
We all
is the
do.
thing. It's, oh my God, that sounds horrible.
No, I think it's...
That sounds like we have to go down to Fair Villa and get some equipment.
That'll be our other video.
If you don't know about Fair Villa,
Google it.
Google it. So absolutely. I had 3 crazy incidents. One experience with God, because I was really feeling extremely down about the fact that I had to go into a store. It brought back huge memories of a relationship that I wish I had again. That kind of relationship, not necessarily with that person, but the kind of relationship that I did have for those couple of months with somebody that was, really my friend and all the other aspects of what it is that I'm looking for. So having that experience made me open up my mind to seeing what it is I do have, the good things that I have going on in my business and in my life. And then I'm not truly alone. I get to talk to some idiots online, and there's some good people, and I've gone on some good dates. I just haven't found, like the Michael Bublé song, just haven't met him yet.
But you're on the right path, I think.
I think
so.
so.
I think we get confirmation along the way, and it's all going to lead up to something so epic and wonderful.
That's it. That word "epic" was something that I heard the other day from somebody I was talking to.
See?
So
Even that.
I'm always about putting together the dots, and there's a path And I just had a very big, huge thing I was talking to one of my friends this morning about how things are intersecting. And it's almost like standing in the road. I love analogies. Standing in the middle of the road at an intersection, and you can see the car coming from these different angles, different sides. So what it's about is seeing the car before the intersection and making sure that when those two cars meet, that they don't collide in a horrible way, but that they meld together to make like one big supercar, put it that way. Or in this case, I've got people who are coming into my life at the right moment, and
I think they call that synergy. Perhaps.
Synergies.
I don't know if that's the right word, but I've heard that is the word we're looking for.
Absolutely. And I love that Nadia said, they're all frogs till the prince shows up. I'm ready for the prince. I think that someone said you have to kiss 28 frogs before you found the right one.
I don't like that analogy being such a bad thing. I think that if you do it intentionally and, you know, you don't just go around kissing all the frogs per se, but you go and you're like, okay, well, maybe this frog has to teach me something. Maybe this frog has to teach me this. And I don't think that, I used to look at it that way, that relationships either had to end in marriage or a breakup. And really, actually, my freshman year of college, a friend of mine, he turned to me and said, oh no, like, I still cherish the relationships even if they don't succeed because they taught us so much. But I think you're definitely in a season where everything's leading up to a lot of different exciting things. Yeah. And so you're just on this path and just like follow it like a river. Keep going.
I agree. And this is the thing. I've been saying that this is what I did last year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. I was alone. And I said that 2018, I didn't want to be alone for those holidays again. Well, it looks like it's going to be that way again. But there's other things that are going on that I have now have in my life that I didn't have a year ago, that supersede the need for not being alone on those 3 days out of the year. Yeah, I've grown friendships that are continuing to grow, growing. I have grown the business. We have incredible people in our business now. Things are only looking up, only looking skyward. So am I alone romantically? Yes. For the holidays, is it going to be hard? Yes. But I have faith that, like what happened yesterday to me, will happen when it's supposed to happen. So thank you guys. I really appreciate that you joined me today. The Dating Doctors is something that is my passion. It is cathartic because I get to tell you what's been going on in my life, and I'm really an open book, which I hope that doesn't scare anybody away. But in all actuality, if you're a guy and you're going to date me, you're going to like this about me.
It's 100%.
You're going to be cool with me. As a matter of fact, I did have one guy I was seeing, and he knew, I tell everybody that I do the show. I'm telling you, full disclosure. And he said to me, did you talk about me on the show? And I said, no, I didn't. I kept your privacy. And he says, no, I want you to talk about me. I think it would be really, it would be really cool. He goes, it would be a compliment.
And I think you'd have to find that balance with your partner, whatever that will look like for you. But ultimately, if that person has an issue with you doing a show like this, then they're not the right person for you off the get-go, right away.
Exactly. So, and anyone who watches the show knows that I don't disclose names. I don't ever badmouth anyone. I've never said anything rude about anyone that I'm seeing. As a matter of fact, you may not even know that I'm seeing someone, because I won't talk about it unless that person says and gives permission. Yeah. So this is really about letting you in on, obviously some crazy stories that make you laugh. It's also to give you to know that there is somebody in the trenches with you, and that when something special happens, like being touched in a way I was touched yesterday by, I believe, the universe or by God, I share it with you, so that you can open your eyes every day. There are messages coming to you. Maybe it's from somebody you didn't even expect. So just keep those eyes open, keep your heart open, and be knowledgeable in the fact that things are going to happen when they're supposed to happen, and have fun along the way.
Yes.
Cool. I can't wait till next week's episode.
I know, I'm so excited.
Sexual energy and how to harness that in your business and your life. Wow.
It's going to be powerful.
This is cool. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to share this video so you can watch it later if you haven't watched the whole thing.
And check out her YouTube channel. She spent a lot of time on her art and the profile picture. We're all into it.
And I'm still uploading some previous episodes, but take a look, check it out. We have some really cool, stuff on there. Thank you guys, and please, if you know somebody who wants to be a guest on the show, I can bring them on. Split screen. They don't have to come to any location. We can do this. And men who are watching, I would love for you to be a guest on the show. Having your insight and your knowledge is really super invaluable. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Okay, bye.